Hi everyone! This video is starting our series on Stoicism. Stoicism, living wisely in a chaotic world. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Epictetus. Philosophy is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a guide for how to live. Few schools of thought embody this more than Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece and refined in the Roman Empire. While often misunderstood as cold or emotionless, Stoicism is actually about the cultivation of emotional resilience, moral clarity, and a deeply purposeful life. In this lesson, we'll explore what Stoicism teaches, why it has endured for centuries, and how its principles can still help us navigate life today. Stoicism began around 300 BCE with the philosopher Zeno of Citium, who taught in the Stoa Poikile, a painted porch in Athens, hence the name Stoicism. Over time, it developed through the teachings of key figures like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. While these men lived very different lives, a former slave, a Roman senator, and an emperor, they all believed in the same essential truths: the importance of virtue, the irrelevance of external circumstances, and the power of reason. Let's talk about two of the core ideas of Stoic ethics: the dichotomy of control and virtue as the only true good. Stoicism's most famous idea is that life is divided into two domains: things that are up to us, our thoughts, judgments, and actions, and things that are not up to us, other people, outcomes, death, status. The Stoic is someone who focuses only on what they can control. Trying to control the uncontrollable leads to frustration, anger, and anxiety. Accepting what cannot be changed and mastering what can leads to tranquility. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others are not." For Stoics, virtue, or moral excellence, is the highest good. Everything else, health, wealth, reputation, even pleasure, is indifferent. Virtue is made up of four cardinal components. The first is wisdom, knowing what's truly good. The second is courage, enduring hardship well. The third is justice, giving others their due. The fourth is temperance, moderation, and self-discipline. These were called the four cardinal virtues. Living a good life means living in accordance with reason and nature, striving always to become better, and responding to challenges virtuously. Stoicism is not an abstract theory. It's a daily discipline. Ancient Stoics used many exercises to train the mind. They used these exercises daily. That's the important thing. You have to do this every day. So this is the discipline that they took upon themselves. Morning reflection and evening review, premeditatio malorum, imagining bad events before they happen so you're prepared. My theater teacher in high school called this expect inspect. Expect something bad to happen, so inspect everything to make sure that it doesn't. And then voluntary discomfort, practicing resilience by going without comfort. Journaling, writing your thoughts and self-critiques. And then the view from above, imagining your place in the larger cosmos to gain perspective. So these are the daily exercises that Stoics would put into place so that they could actually practice Stoicism and have the right perspective on life. The three best-known Stoic philosophers, or the big three of Stoicism, are Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. So, as I mentioned earlier, these were men whose lives and life circumstances differed a great deal, but all three were staunch proponents of Stoicism. Epictetus. Epictetus was born a slave in ancient Rome. He thought that freedom comes from mastering your mind, not your surroundings. His book, Enchiridion, or Little Handbook, is a guide to inner strength, humility, and integrity. According to Epictetus, freedom is the prize we are working for, not being a slave to anything, not to compulsion, not to chance events. He later said, "For no man is a slave who is free in his will." Next we have Seneca. A Roman senator and advisor to Emperor Nero, Seneca wrote powerful letters and essays about anger, grief, generosity, and death. His writing helps us deal with intense emotions through reason. According to Ryan Holiday in his book Lives of the Stoics, Seneca had always looked for the good in people, even someone as obviously bad as Nero. "Let's be kind to one another," he once wrote. "We're just wicked people living among wicked people. Only one thing can give us peace, and that's a pact of mutual leniency." Nero eventually turned on Seneca and ordered his death. Last, we have the Emperor of Rome and author of Meditations, the philosopher king Marcus Aurelius. Now, Marcus offers a rare glimpse into the mind of a ruler who is committed to wisdom and justice. He was known as one of the few good emperors in ancient Rome. His journal is filled with reminders to be patient, to be kind, and to be mindful of mortality. At the beginning of Meditations, the emperor takes the time to write about the people who influenced him and his life. He wrote that when you need encouragement, think of the qualities the people around you have. This one's energy, that one's modesty, another's generosity, and so on. Nothing is as encouraging as when virtues are visibly embodied in the people around us, when we're practically showered with them. It's good to keep this in mind. There are a lot of misconceptions about Stoicism. Many assume Stoics are unemotional or passive, but that just isn't true. Stoics believed that emotions must be managed, not denied. They seek emotional stability, not emotional numbness. Stoicism isn't about ignoring the world, but facing it rationally and virtuously, and remembering what you can actually control. From cognitive behavioral therapy to best-selling books like The Daily Stoic, Stoicism continues to influence modern thinkers and leaders. In times of anxiety, uncertainty, or hardship, Stoicism offers timeless tools to regain clarity and composure. In conclusion, Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. In a chaotic and uncertain world, this philosophy of resilience, self-mastery, and ethical living is as relative today as it was in the Roman Empire. As we finish this course, remember, philosophy is not just something we study, it's something we live. And the Stoics show us how to live wisely, even when life is hard. During those hard times, remember the words of the philosopher king Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you next time.